everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how I do this really cute toasty makeup look. This look is currently trending on TikTok, and I will be honest, when I first saw it, I was a little hesitant because I have cool undertones, and so I typically don't do warm tone makeup, but this is the one time that I will make an exception because this is so cute and so warm. This is perfect for summer or fall or any kind of warm season, and this also goes really well with brown eyes, so if you want to learn how to do this look as well, then keep on watching. So I'm going to start this look by pushing my hair back with this headband. I don't know how some people can do makeup with their hair down and their hair still looks so good and there's no makeup on it. I personally have tried and it's never worked out for me. So we're going to use the headband today. So the first product I'm going to use is this CC cream. I love this more than regular foundations because it has a much lighter and natural coverage. You can also use foundation for this, but I found that most of the time when I get foundation, it just doesn't really look that good on me. I also found that a lot of foundations have a finish that doesn't look very natural, and I like to do like a pretty natural finish personally. And I'm gonna blend this in with a beauty blender. This is one of my personal favorite beauty products just because it looks so natural and leaves my skin looking so glowy. I also love that this isn't super full coverage, so you can still see some of the natural colors of my face underneath it. Next, I'm going with some concealer. This is a matte concealer, and I'm just going to use it in some areas where I feel like are needed to cover up some redness. After this, I'm going to go with some powder, and I'm just going to powder like the middle part of my face because I don't want my face to look too glowy. I just like to use a nice fluffy brush for this and just dip it into the powder. I'm just going to go gently and tap it on my forehead and the middle of my face. And I find that with this technique, it makes my face look nice and glowy, but doesn't make it look overly greasy or just really shiny. Now I'm taking a little bit of that CC cream and just applying a little bit onto my beauty blender, and I'm just going to gently go over my eyelids with that just to be a nice primer for the eyeshadow that's coming later. You can also use eyeshadow primer for this, but I found that just using whatever you use for the base works really well too. Next, we're going with some blush. I have this shade. It's a nice warm tone. It's like a nice warm pink that goes really well with this toasty makeup look. So I actually got this from a friend and it's a cream blush, so it makes it really easy to blend in. So I normally just like to take a flat brush and just tap it into the cream blush, and then just apply it on the cheeks on the outside here and then blend upwards. This looks very bright, but don't worry, once we blend it out, it's gonna look perfectly natural. The thing I love about cream blushes is that it blends out super naturally, and if you put a lot on or too much on accident, you can easily blend it out. I also like to use a beauty blender to really blend it out. I feel like a brush sometimes makes it look a little too concentrated, so a beauty blender really helps soften it and gives it a seamless blend. I used to be someone that never wore blush because my face just gets red so easily, and I just hated that blush made my face extra red, but recently I found that adding blush actually makes the makeup look a lot more cute, and I've been doing a lot more recently. And I'm going to take whatever's left over in the beauty blender and just blend a little bit on my nose as well. If you're planning on wearing this for a long time, I suggest going over the cream blush with some powder blush just to set it in place, but I do like to keep the glowy look from the cream blush, so I'm just gonna keep it as is right now. Once everything is nice and blended in, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. I got this palette from Sephora a very long time ago. It includes some eyeshadows and a bronzer, blush, and highlighter. And I really like the highlighter or the bronzer shade for this because it is a very nice, warm, light brown. It's also really natural, so I like to go for this whenever I do bronzer. So I'm just going to load it with a little bit of product and then just kind of go around my forehead. I also like to take a little more product and just kind of go around this side and on my jawline as well. Sometimes when I feel like it, I would go kind of on my cheekbone a little bit as well just to warm up those parts too. And taking whatever product's left on the brush, I'm just going to apply a little bit on my nose as well. Next, I'm going to go in with a cool contour shade. I have this one from Sephora. It is a powder. You can also use a stick contour. I'm just gonna load my brush with that and then kind of go along the side of my nose right here. I like to do both sides, try to get it as even as I can. Then I'm gonna take the same contour and kind of go along the side, the tip of my nose. And this is going to make your nose look a little bit smaller. Right now the contour looks a little crazy, so we're gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that into the sides a little bit. Since this is a powder contour, it is very buildable, so if I find that after blending, it looks a little too light, I like to go back in with the brush and just kind of build that contour up just a little bit more. After the contour, this is one of my favorite parts. We're going to do some highlighter. I'm using this contour palette by E.L.F. I'm using this very light highlight shade, and I find that applying with my fingers gives it a much better color payoff than using a brush. I'm just go a little bit on the tip of my nose to brighten that a little bit, and then a little bit on the bridge as well. Next, I'm taking this highlighter palette, and this has a lot of different tones in it. It has this pink tone, but I'm going to go for this one right here. This is kind of warm. And I'm going to use that on the top of my cheeks just to give me a little bit more glow. Okay, now the base is done. We're going to move on to the eyes. I'm mainly going to be using this palette by E.L.F. This was my first eyeshadow palette, and it is still one of my favorites because it has all the neutral shades. And this honestly does most like everyday looks for me. I'm going to start off with this nice fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with this cream shade right here as the base for my eyeshadow. And I'm just going to swipe this all over my lids. Whenever I do eyeshadow, I always like to start off with a cream base just to even everything out for the shadow that's going to come later. So for the colors, I'm going to start off with this light brown. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow shades because it's so natural looking. And normally when you're doing eyeshadow looks, you always want to make sure that you start with a light shade and just kind of build it up and make it darker. So I'm starting with this dark brown shade and concentrating on the outer corners and then just blending that inwards. Next, I'm going to take this darker brown shade and I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush, tap off the excess, and then we're going to blend that on the outer corners of the eyes a little bit further than the previous brown, and I'm just going to concentrate that on the outer corner to darken that a little bit. I'm also going to take the extra from the brush and just go underneath my eye as well. The eyes do look a little brown right now, and I think it needs a little more red, so I'm going to go in with this reddish brown shade. I'm going to mix it with this reddish brown shade as well, just to have a little bit more warmth. I'm going to apply it to the outer corner and blending it inwards as well, just to kind of mix with the brown a little bit. And just like before, I'm going to take the extra powder that's left on the brush and apply that under my eyes. All right, now all the colors on, this does look a little unblended, so I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush and just blend it all in. This way you'll give a nice seamless finish between the colors and also makes the look a little more natural. We're going to bring back the highlighter and we're going to use this warm shade and a flat brush, and I'm just going to apply that on the inner corners. Next, I'm going to take this eyeshadow palette again. I'm going to take this dark brown shade with a angled brush. And I'm just going to use this and apply a little bit on the lower lash line. It's just going to open up the eyes a little bit and also warm up the look a little bit more. This next step is optional, but I'm going to take some of my contour from before and I'm just going to use a very small brush and I'm just going to highlight my egg yolk cell. Upon reviewing this footage, I realized that it would have been better to draw my egg yolk cell with a brown shade of eyeshadow instead of a contour. So if you're going to recreate this, I recommend using brown eyeshadow instead. I'm also going to take the highlighter from this E.L.F. palette and just highlight the egg yolk cell too. Next up, I'm going to curl my lashes. I like to use this Shiseido eyelash curler. I've used this for such a long time, and for my stubborn Asian eyelashes, these do curl and make them stay curled for the whole day. Next, I'm going to go in with the most tedious part of this makeup look, which is going to be the individual lashes. I'm using these ones that kind of look like the manga lashes, but I love these because it's very natural looking and also adds a little bit of volume as well. These are actually self-gluing lashes, like they already have the adhesive on them, but I have used these a few times, and upon removing them, a lot of the adhesive did kind of come off, so I will have to be re-gluing it with some of my normal lash glue. What I typically do is I just take a pair of tweezers and just put the lashes on. Then I'm going to take my eyelash glue and just brush a little bit of glue onto the lash band, just like that, and I'm going to let it sit for a few seconds, let it get a little bit tacky so it doesn't get super messy. And once that is tacky and there's barely any glue left on the eyelash band, I'm going to take that and just glue it underneath my lashes. This part does take a long time, but I did find that using individual lashes just gives a more natural look. I'm curious, how do you guys reuse your false lashes? I typically just take them off and then soak them in a cotton pad that has micellar water or makeup remover on it. But I find that a lot of times it doesn't really get a lot of the glue off. I have to be really patient and really gentle with them. So let me know if you have another method. Alright, now the lashes are done, I'm going to go in with some eyeliner. I like to use this waterproof eyeliner because this really lasts me so long and my eyelids are so greasy, so this makes it so it doesn't transfer everywhere. I'm going to do a small wing today just to kind of go with this more natural look. Drawing a winged liner has never been easy for me. I've always had to use tape or something as some sort of guideline, but I'm trying to do it without the tape now because I heard that putting tape on your face isn't good for your skin. So I'm trying to draw this evenly freehand. Okay, this is one side done. Now I'm going to make sure the other side has to match. Okay, other side was pretty difficult to draw, but I think they're pretty even right now. Now that we've given some time for the eyelashes to fully set, I'm going to take my eyelash curler again, just kind of curl the falsies a little bit just to make them blend together with my natural lashes. All right, now my lashes are nice and curled. I'm going to go in with some waterproof mascara. This is my favorite mascara ever. This is waterproof and it lasts me so long and doesn't smudge. I'm just gonna concentrate that on the root and then just tap the mascara wand on the ends of the lashes to make them a little bit longer. This really blends my natural lashes with the fake ones, and it also makes my eyes look so much bigger. Now for the eyebrows, I'm gonna fill in the tail end with this brow pencil. I'm gonna go pretty natural today, and I'm just gonna fill in a little bit like this. I'm not trying to go super dark or anything. And I'm gonna take the other end of this eyebrow pencil and just kind of blend it out with the brush. And finally, we're going with the lipstick, and I'm going to be using this NYX Butter Gloss. This is very smooth, and I love this color. It is in the shade Butterscotch, and I think this is such a warm and kind of natural looking shade. And this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it as well. Absolutely love this look so much. It is so warm, and I will definitely be doing this again in the future, especially when fall comes up. Let me know what other makeup looks you'd like to see me do, and until then, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!